Live. It is the 30th of May. May? Yeah, it is. Wow. 30th of May, and today we're talking about snacks. It's snack time. 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. Most people are ready for a snack or a coffee, so we'll talk a little bit about that. First things first, of course, invite your friends. Bring them along for the ride. We've got lots of free things, lots of free recipes, lots of great discussion around good habits, lots of great sharing from people who are sharing their journeys and bringing us along for the ride, and that's always great to see. So as always, the more the better. The more the merrier. Bring your friends in, bring them into the conversation, and let's keep having those conversations. It's always good. All right, couple of announcements. First of all, you may have seen the posts on Instagram and in the Facebook group. Gabrielle May is the new Strong for Life coach. That makes a team of myself, Coach Josh Wood, Gabrielle, Coach Shani, and nutritionist Abby. All people you've seen inside the group. And for those of you that are out there listening to the podcast, the group's always open to you. Become Strong for Life Facebook group, where the majority of our community happenings happen. And if you're listening live or catching the replay in the group, great. But if you want to try to catch this later, you can always catch it on the podcast just by searching Strong for Life Live on any of the major platforms. Google, Apple, Spotify, we're there. All right, one more announcement. There is an upcoming 8-week weight loss challenge. So this challenge is specific to those people who really want to lose a significant amount of weight in a fairly short period of time. There will be more information coming out about this. I'm not going to talk about it too much, except that we're just registering interest. Applications will open in about 2 weeks. There will be prizes. This is a challenge. This is a competition. This is a entry-level way to get on board and get personalized one-on-one coaching, one-on-one personalized nutrition, and really buckle down for 8 weeks to see as much fat loss as you can and potentially win some pretty valuable prizes. So that's pretty big, but I don't want to say too much just yet. So we're going to talk about snacks. That's the focus this week in the group. We had some interesting, let's see. Our Monday thought-provoking question was just, what is your goal-oriented snack choice? And the key there is goal-oriented. What are you doing when you want a snack that is actually helping you progress to where you want to be? And that's often not what a snack is about. So let's look at this first. So obviously, we're going to run the Apple test, and we're going to say, am I actually hungry? Do I want to eat food, or is it 2 or 3 in the afternoon and I'm tired? And I got a sugar craving. I'm bored, stressed out at work. Maybe I just need more caffeine. Whatever it is, you're jonesing for something. Doesn't mean you're actually hungry. And so this is when we usually start shoving things in our mouth, hidden in our desk drawers that we probably shouldn't be. I just got a comment here on the live feed from Sonia saying she feels so guilty. Just started snacking on Cheezels. Yeah. And then query about the 8-week challenge, and we'll talk about the 8-week challenge soon. Right now, it's just about getting interest and seeing who's interested in getting involved. But what can we snack on that's better for us? And we had some great stuff in there. We had some high protein options. Shani, one of the coaches, he shared a favorite semi-high protein nut bar, but a commonly available one from Australian grocery stores. And then there was one comment in there about protein yogurt that I hadn't done before. And protein yogurt's a big thing for me. But I can't remember your name. But the lady mentioned she uses chocolate protein powder in plain Greek yogurt. And it's like chocolate mousse, and that sounds awesome. But let's go back to why are we snacking in the first place? So we run the Apple test. Am I actually hungry, or am I tired, bored, stressed, etc.? Sugar craving. Generally, if you are craving something there was a question about sugar cravings. If you are craving something, you're probably not eating enough in general, or you're not eating enough to nourish yourself, not eating the right amount for you. So I got to be careful about saying not eating enough. But let's say if you are hungry between lunch and dinner, one, your lunch wasn't enough. Try eating more at lunch so you don't get these cravings and then end up overeating because you're snacking on things that don't actually make you feel full. Maybe like Cheezels or Tim Tams. But make sure your meals are nourishing enough. Make sure you're getting nourished across the day. One of the first things we do when working with clients at Strong for Life Coaching is we just set a baseline. Be consistent. Even if you feel like it's too much, what we usually see is that people don't eat enough during the week and then they binge on the weekends. Or at nighttime, after the kids are in bed, a couple drinks, block of chocolate, it all adds up pretty quickly. So the first thing we do is set a baseline to make sure you are fed and nourished consistently. Then that usually takes care of cravings because you're actually eating enough across the day and you're less likely to rebound and binge later. That's a really important thing. But sugar cravings usually happen because you're not nourished, or you often get sugar cravings in response to stress. And I think most people will find that you crave sugar, but if you had an apple or a banana, which is sweet, you'd still feel better. If you sat down and ate a real meal, generally speaking, if you're hungry, just eat. Eat something real. Or look at what your last meal was and be like, oh, I had a cheese toastie for lunch. Of course you're hungry at 2 or 3. That's not enough to sustain a child. So look at nourishing yourself better consistently. See what happens with your cravings. Look at upping your protein across the day. See what happens with your cravings. If those things don't help, it could be a stress response. It could be a nutrient deficiency. There's some nutrient deficiencies. I think it's, you can fact check me on this, but I think it's mineral deficiencies, or when you need more of certain minerals, you crave things like chocolate or salty things. And if we nourish ourselves more and eat more whole foods consistently, that tends to sort itself out better. The other component is mental. What's your stress load like? What's your sleep like? If you're sleep deprived and you're stressed out, you will crave sweet things. Your body wants those sweet things. So we have to deal with the other side of that. Or don't. Eat the sweet things, own the fact that you're making that choice, and deal with the consequences. That's what adults do. Own the consequences. So that's up to you. When it comes to deciding on good snacks, generally speaking, something that is higher in protein is going to make you feel fuller longer and make you feel more sated, and sort of regulate your hunger. So a lot of high protein snacks are boring, but there are some good ones. So like I just mentioned, the low-fat Greek yogurt's pretty good. Add in some protein powder, especially something fun. Usually makes it like a thicker, more mousse-like consistency. I usually just do vanilla, and then I like to throw like some fruit in there or like a handful of granola. I like the crunch, and that adds a bit of zing. I've found recently, and I need to go get some more cottage cheese now that I think about it. Cottage cheese, I like dicing up an apple and throwing a pinch of cinnamon on top. It's great. Really satisfying. You know, the cottage cheese is a little bit tangy, the apple's a little sweet and crunchy, and then you get that bit of cinnamon. It's a great flavor explosion. One of my clients, Jeremy, he was saying that he does cottage cheese and peaches, which actually sounds really good. It's a very American option there. But, you know, mix and matching things, having things prepared in advance is always the best choice, making sure that when you're trying to figure out what you're going to eat during the day, even if you don't like bigger meals, you can totally go with 3 meals and 2 snacks as a standard daily meal plan. And you have smaller meals and you make up for your nutrients with your snacks. But you got to plan those snacks and you got to bring them. And so that could be something like, I've been doing a lot of ham lately. Ham was on sale. So I bought a shoulder ham. It's like 3 kilos of ham, $10 a kilo. Diced ham and cheese. Big old slab of ham's great. The yogurt and protein powder, just a protein shake, a smoothie. You could do, I've been doing marinated eggs, which is really great. So take some hard-boiled eggs, peel them, put them in a liquid. Liquid I've been doing is a lapsang souchong base, which is a smoky tea. You can just use a bit of water, or if you have some liquid smoke, that works too. And then there was soy sauce, lots of ginger, a little bit of garlic, sesame oil, and a pinch of black pepper and salt. And that just makes a delicious Asian fusion egg snack. So good. They're a little bit soft boiled, and they'll stay in there for a week or so, and you can eat them the day after. They just get more flavorful. So, planning things out, hard boiled eggs in the various forms. You can even do like an egg salad type thing with yogurt instead of mayonnaise, or a little bit of olive oil, depending on what your macros are. So eggs are good. I have some people in my life who do the tinned tuna. I think it's terrible. It's a super good option nutrition wise. I think it tastes horrible. But you can get the ones that are mixed with like three bean mix or salsas or lemon and cracked pepper. Make a little sandwich or something like that. Eat it out of a tin, mix it with some rice. Like, just depends what you're after. If you're after sweet, go more the dairy focused. Go for like protein bars, things like that. If you are more looking for savory, look at eggs, cheese, meats, that kind of thing, and get your protein first. Part of the whole eat like an adult philosophy is focus on the protein intake first as part of your meals. And just before Christmas, I did a little reel about this in terms of what are some simple things you can do to improve your weight loss over the holidays. And the first thing is get your protein first. Eat that first, then fill up on garbage, because you'll have less room to fill and you'll be more level because you've actually filled yourself up with nutritious things. And so the same thing goes with in general. If you're feeling like a snack, like, oh, I want to eat this box of Tim Tams, well, eat your couple eggs first, eat your yogurt, eat your cottage cheese, have your protein bar, and then see where you're at. And then if you still have the sweet craving, all right, well, if it fits into your system, do it. See how you feel. But then look at what you've eaten the rest of the day and why you're really craving that. We love sweet things. I don't have a huge sweet tooth. I'm more of a salty guy, but humans like sweet things. I mean, we'll go and punch a hole in a wild beehive to eat handfuls of fresh honey while getting stung by bees just for something sweet. We'll fight bears for apples and blueberries. Like, we love sweet things. But traditionally, those sweet things were nutritious as well. Nutritious and rare. Now those sweet things are not. Now they're everywhere, and it's too easy to eat the sweet things without any benefit to them. So eat the healthy thing first. Get the protein in first, and then add the sweet things after if you think you still need it. So that's one way to help deal with sugar cravings. But we really have to see what we're doing with our lives. And if you have a hard time figuring out those patterns as to why you eat in certain ways, maybe it's time to look at a coach or a nutritionist or someone who can do that pattern recognition for you. Now, the other side of that is not everybody's trying to lose weight. Not everybody, well, some people want to gain weight. It's sort of the phase I'm in right now. I try to gain a bit of weight over the winter, which is easier because I'm more sedentary, but I always lose weight over the summer because I'm way more active and outside. So what are some things that I do for that? And then how can we reverse engineer them if you're the other way around, you're trying to lose weight or maintain? So I'm just thinking about some of the things I start doing, and it's like I add in an evening snack. I don't normally do that. I might have a cup of tea or something, but I add in something to eat in the evening, an hour or so before bed, as another little feed. This one's not usually high protein because I get crazy protein dreams. This is just for extra calories. I add whole cream to my coffee instead of just milk. That adds quite a bit of calories across the week. I make sure that I add more carbs to my meals. I get just as lazy as anyone else, but I've got systems in place to make sure that I more or less stay on track most of the time. And that means, for lunch, sometimes it's just like, I'll eat a couple pieces of chicken and an apple. It's not enough calories, plenty of protein. So I start adding a more dense carb source. So today it was a couple pieces of chicken. I cooked a bunch of chicken for lunches last night. And I just got the pre-marinated stuff from Woolies. I think it's a Portuguese-style chicken marinated, like a kilo of random chicken parts, and just throw it in the oven for an hour, and it's all crispy and good, and I can warm it up during the week. And so I had a couple chicken thighs. for lunch today. And then I added a bagel to that. And normally I would just have a bit of fruit or something, maybe a bit of rice. So adding more calorically dense things. But we can reverse engineer this too. If you're trying to lose weight, don't have an evening snack or have a low calorie snack. A square of dark chocolate. Great. A couple squares even. Dark chocolate, very low calorie, super satisfying, delicious thing. Savor it. Have some tea without sugar or honey or milk in it. Get into that. Embrace different types of herbal teas. In your morning coffee, try to reduce the amount of sugar. If you're doing whole cream or full cream milk, switch to something that is less fattening, has less fat in it, because that's easy calories that we can cut out. Or reduce the portion size. Use a bit less cream. Measure it. When you're doing snacks, don't add the extra carb sources, just have the protein and see how you feel. If you normally eat a couple biscuits with some tea, switch to one. Like, these tiny little things add up. And if we think about, a tablespoon of cream consumed a day, whole cream, pouring cream, thick cream. Oh, geez, let's say it's 100 calories. Across the week, 7 days a week, it's 700 calories. That's half a day's food for a, 50 to 60 kilo woman. That would be half the calories you would need for one day. You can cut out a half day's food by cutting out that tablespoon of cream a day. Or if it's the case of olive oil, a tablespoon of olive oil is like 140 calories to 180 calories. Reduce that. It's half a day's food that you cut out just with that one little thing. And if you're trying to gain weight, and I know there's some other skinny guys out there, do the opposite. Add the cream. Add the bagel instead of some rice. Things that are more dense in calories. So these little things, like sneaky calories. Sneaky calories work two ways. Sneak them in, sneak them out, depending on your goals. If you're just trying to be healthy and fit and lean, sneak them out, focus on high protein. I don't want to dig in too much into the bulking side of stuff, but maybe that's a conversation for the future. So I hope that gives you some things to think about on this week's topic of snacks. If you got questions, shoot me a message, leave a comment, send me an email, whatever you like. Happy to chat about it. Drop something in the group. But yeah, snacks were on the agenda in the group this week, so it's always something we're trying to figure out. And I think the main thing is snacks aren't necessary. If you're eating enough generally with your meals, you don't need a lot of snacks. If you're not making it between meals, it's like, I've always had clients who are like, oh, but I'm so hungry at 4 o'clock. Make dinner. There's nothing wrong with eating dinner early. There is no magical dinner time. Oh, but I usually eat dinner at 7. Well, you're hungry at 4. Make dinner. It's not that hard. If you're home and you're digging in the pantry, you can make dinner. You'll feel better, and you'll probably end up going to bed feeling more sleepy, less full. So if you're hungry, eat a meal. If you're tired, go to sleep. How about that? So have a think about what you're doing. Have a think about why you're doing it. Bring it into your conscious mind, and then make a decision. And if in doubt, run the Apple test. It's always a good option. But snacks are always something we're going to have to think about, especially if we are away from meals or long time between meals because of work and other responsibilities. Anyway, I'd be curious about your thoughts. I think it's time for shout-outs. So I've got a shout-out for Haley, who I believe is in the group, just because she's fairly new to the Strong for Life team, and she's been working hard consistently. She had a pretty good strength level prior to kids and took some time off and wants to get that back. And we're using some methods and movements that she's not as familiar with, but every week she puts in hard work, and we see an increase in weight or an increase in reps, and we're rapidly gaining that strength back. And it's called Strong for Life. It's good to see that strength improve. So shout out to Haley on that hard work, and shout out to Greg. I know he did a post in the group, and we talk about Greg a fair bit, but Greg was telling me lies about his body fat. His scale was saying he was at 28 or 27% or something like that. And I'm looking at him like, Greg, there's no way you're over 20. And so we found a body composition scan place near him, had him go in, and They took his measurements, and he was sitting at 20.2%. So first of all, shout out to Greg, 63 years old, getting down to 20% body fat. Also shout out to me for being able to eyeball that still. I'm pretty good at it. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Awesome to see. So shout out to Greg. Awesome work. That's hard work for people in their 20s and 30s. Getting a 20% body fat in your 60s is great work. All right, folks, that's it for today. I hope there was some good thought-provoking nuggets in there, some tasty mind snacks. Please, again, let me know if you want to chat about anything. Let me know if you have any questions. Throw stuff in the group. Let's keep those conversations happening. I'm not the only one with knowledge and experience in the group. There's a lot of smart, well-experienced people, and of course, we got the whole coaching team there. So ask questions, start conversations, don't be shy, and until next time, just keep getting strong for life.